Broadcasting live, this is the Handicappers Report. Brought to you by the Clubhouse Racebook, 711 Central Avenue, Albany, and CapitalOTBBet.com, the premier online wagering site in New York State. CapitalOTBBet.com. Sign up today.
Welcome to the Handicappers Report, taking a look at the action for Saturday, April 24th. Seth Merrow in the studio. A little bit later, Brian Nadeau will join us via Zoom. He is actually in Louisville in the lead up to the Kentucky Derby, doing work with the Churchill Downs Notes team. Because of that, our schedules, we had to work out different times to pre-tape this edition of the Handicappers Report. So Brian will be on a little later. We're just not going to be on at the same time as we taped at different time periods, but he will come up a little bit later on and look at opening day at Churchill Downs. I'm going to look at the first Saturday of the Belmont Park Spring Meet. They opened up on Thursday for this spring meet. Let me hit you with some of the promos coming up here at Capital OTB. First of all, there is a live bankroll right here today at the Clubhouse Racebook. We'd love to have you swing on by, put your name in the hat. 20 folks will be randomly selected to be on the bankroll team. A little bit later, because we're going to kind of overlap the Churchill card, which has a 6 p.m. start today. So we'll do our bankroll from 3 until 7. You can put your name in the hat between 11 and 3 to potentially get on the bankroll team. That all happens today right here at the Clubhouse Racebook, 711 Central Avenue in Albany. Same location that tomorrow there'll be a double promotion, the match bet, and the play the board handicapping contest. Clubhouse Racebook, 711 Central Avenue in Albany. Let's dive into it. Again, a little bit later on, Brian will look at Churchill, but I'll kick things off with Belmont for this Saturday afternoon. Post time for the opener is 1 o'clock, and it is a maiden special event at 7 furlongs. I have it 4, 2, 5, and 3. I will put Mahamel on top. It's Todd Pletcher. It's an Into Mischief firster. Pletcher can have him ready. Into Mischief is a good sire of win early types. And the Dams produced a sibling called Hot Mist that won its lone start. So there was win early all around. Irod Ortiz on board. Number 4 on top. Second slot will go with another firster. Our friends at West Point Thoroughbreds have first captain in here. They paid $1.5 million at Saratoga in 2019. Goes out for trainer Shug McGahee off a steady string of works down in Florida, then moved up to Belmont for the last workout. Could turn out to be a nice horse. We will see. First start for this $1.5 million runner from West Point and Company. First captain in the mix. And then yet another firster. Chad Brown has a runner from Speightstown, another good sire of first out runners, and Chad Brown certainly can have them ready to go. So we'll go with 3 first-time starters in this opener at Belmont. I have it 4, 2, 5, and 3. Race number 2 at Belmont Park. State bred allowance, non-winners of 1 other than on the grass. If it should go on the dirt, I'll go 2, 5, 6, and the 1A. Again, on dirt, 2, 5, 6, and the 1A. But on turf, 3, 7, 8, and 2. Oh, excuse me. I'm going to change that up. 4, 7, 8, and 2. I wrote the wrong number down. 4, 7, 8, and 2. The number 4 is English Breeze. Goes out for Dave Donk, and the races last year on the dirt, 2 years ago actually, on the dirt were very good. Laid off all of 2021. The comeback was not as good as the first 4 starts, but it was on the dirt, and I'm wondering if that was just, let's get a race under the belt and kind of get in prep for the turf season. Maybe see if we have a dirt runner, but more getting prepped to return to the turf. With the return to turf, I'll put English Breeze on top. Second spot, number 7, Pandemom. That one in classic colors, who I have in the second and third spots, both trained by Christophe Clement. I just feel like Pandemom maybe has a little more of an edge. Classic colors, the 8 is lightly raced, and there may be some upside potential, but of what we've seen so far, Pandemom gets a slight edge amongst those two. So again, for me, in the second at Belmont, I have it 4, 7, 8, and 2. Race number 3 at Belmont on Saturday afternoon. Allowance non-winners of 1 other than 3, 2, 1, and 6. I could make a case for Mr. Phil, the 4, as well. But I put Mr. Winston on top. Chad Brown, trainee, that first 3 starts of the career were pretty good. Subsequently, the seasonal debut this year was not as good, but we'll see if that one can kind of bounce back to, with a race under the belt, bounce back to that previous good form. If so, we'll put that one in the mix. The Queen's Jewels in the second spot. A couple of good tries most recently, a second and a third, but with numbers that match up nicely with this bunch. So an absolute player with this group. And somebody in the third spot, Jim Bond, trainee, also coming off a couple of good starts like the Queen's Jewels that say this one is a player. Latin Casino for Kelly Breen, debut winner. And again, with only the 1 start, there's maybe a little upside potential. So I wouldn't argue against Latin Casino being a potential player in here as well. But the third at Belmont for me, 3, 2, 1, and 6. Race number 4, it's an allowance non-winners of 1 other than mile and a 16th on the grass. I have it 6, 3, 1, and 5. I'll put publication on top. Chad Brown, runner for Juddmonte, that debuted just about a year ago, ran an okay third. Then from that April start, came back in July and won to break the maiden. Hasn't been seen since then. Given the 2 nice improving starts, obviously there was a setback that we're not seeing the horse until now, but the workouts seem to be okay, seem to indicate the horse is ready to roll on the return, and given what we've seen as talent from this one so far, I will tilt in that direction. But Stolen Holiday from Shug also has shown talent, won in the career debut, followed up with a 4th place finish in this non-winners of 1 condition, but like the top pick has been on the sidelines now for a long time after the first 2 starts. But also like the top pick, seems to be working well enough to indicate the horse will come back and be a runner again. In the third spot, I will use number 1, High Opinion. That one on the morning line is the favorite at 6 to 5. I'm not going to argue that this horse has a lot to hang your hat on. Nice improving numbers in all 4 of the first career starts, including a nice little stakes try last time. That was in November, so comes back like the top 2 off a layoff, but like the top 2, has already shown some talent and is likely to be a runner in with this bunch. Nice field. I would think there potentially are some stakes runners in this sport at Belmont somewhere in the future, but I have it 6, 3, 1, and 5. In the 5th at Belmont, $16,000 claimers going a mile and a 16th. I have it 6, 3, 5, and 10. Number 6 is Heavy Roller, goes out for Robatras off a nice win last time. It was a voided claim race, so I suppose there's a question mark here that has to be answered, particularly with a step up the claiming ladder. But if that form holds, this horse probably becomes the one to beat. Hammer and Ammer in the second spot, off the claim for Wayne Potts. Not only off the claim, but off a win. 2 races back, also won, and 2 races back was also claimed and claimed away from Wayne Potts. So Wayne Potts on the claim back for trainer-owner Wayne Potts. Just an interesting scenario for Hammer and Ammer. And runabout in the third spot, Tom Morley, trainee, second off the claim. And the first off the claim race was certainly good enough to be competitive with this bunch. So in the 5th at Belmont, 6, 3, 5, and 10. All of which brings us to a break. We will take that break and we will return to complete our look at Belmont for Saturday afternoon. Stay tuned.
I'm Seth Merrow, and as serious horse players, we know that information is critical when placing a bet. With live streaming of more than 30 tracks, race replays, free past performances, and daily picks from professional handicappers, no one gives you more up-to-the-minute information than Capital OTB. Combine that with the best player awards in New York State, and you have everything a serious horse player needs to be successful.
Win more with Capital OTB.
Winning starts here.
The Capital Region has some of the most sophisticated horse racing fans in the country. That's why Capital OTB built the Clubhouse Racebook. Here you can wager year-round on the best horse racing from around the world. The Clubhouse also has monthly promotions including live bankrolls, handicapping contests, and so much more. Like sports? Watch your favorite teams on more than 30 screens in Legends Field Sports Grill. Food, sports, and the excitement of championship horse racing. Only at the Clubhouse Racebook, 711 Central Avenue, Albany.
Come on!
I want sales reports on my desk by Monday.
Oops, my bad.
Love racing? RTN brings you every live simulcast on your home television, plus live video streaming and race replays on your PC and mobile devices. To order, visit rtn.tv. RTN, a breed apart.
Welcome back to the Handicappers Report for Saturday, April 24th. Seth Merrow in the studio. A little bit later on, Brian Nadeau will jump in with some Churchill Downs for Saturday, but I'll restart Belmont with race number 6. It's the late pick 4 action at Belmont on Saturday afternoon. Maiden specials going a mile and a 16th on the grass. Top of the page, I have written tough, competitive, good group. One of those races where I have my top 4. I could point at another 3 and probably have similar confidence. But I went 6, 11, 4, and 8 at Belmont. Newsworthy on top. The Belmont trainee moved to the grass in the second career start. Put in a very good effort. Seems to have shown an affinity for the grass. And if that keeps up, Newsworthy seems very competitive in here. Canby Lion in the second spot. Shug McGahee horse, couple of starts at Gulfstream. She seemed to show some nice improvement. Start number 1 to start number 2 that could have the horse primed for even better this afternoon. Jose Ortiz on board. And Mudasalim for Chad Brown and Shadwell has not tried the turf yet, but the first 2 dirt starts were pretty good. Was behind Dynamic One last time, and that one went on to be the nice second in the wood. So Mudasalim, just interesting. It's Chad Brown, and they're now trying the turf after, again, a couple of decent dirt starts. So I'll throw that one in the mix. In the 6th at Belmont, 6, 11, 4, and 8. Race number 7 at Belmont, optional claimer, non-winners of 3 other than. I have it 4, 1, 2, and 7. I put Super Stonehenge on top for Mark Cassie. Ran 3rd in the Carter last time. Now drops back into the more proper non-winners of 3. 2 starts back, was also in a little stakes race down at Tampa. Ran a good second. So coming out of some stakes company into the non-winners of 3. I'll put Super Stonehenge on top. Looking at Bikinis is a horse that showed some talent early in the career for Chad Brown and company, but has a little hidden scroll on him. Hidden Scroll was the horse that was brilliant at times and then clunked at times, and this one seems similar to that scenario. So I couldn't quite pull the trigger to put this one on top, but if looking at Bikini's fires a best effort, going to be right in the hunt here, if not the horse to beat. American Power in the 3rd spot comes off a nice couple of wins in stakes action at Aqueduct, and off of those clearly has to be considered in with this bunch. 7th race at Belmont, 4, 1, 2, and 7. Race number 8 at Belmont, stakes action. It is the Elusive Quality, $100,000 up for grabs for 4-year-olds and up. Going 7 furlongs on the grass. I have it 6, 3, 4, and 1. I put Front Run the Fed on top for Chad and Klarovich. Hasn't been seen since Keeneland last fall in the Breeders' Cup Turf Sprint. Ran 6th in that race, but it wasn't a bad 6th in a field of 14, less than 3 lengths back. Before that, just missed in a turf sprint stake at Kentucky Downs. Comes in off some nice works at Payson. I'll put Front Run the Fed on top. Casa Creed for Lee Einseidler and Bill Mott. Comes in off a try in the Kilroe Mile at Santa Anita. Ran 6th, but again, wasn't a bad 6th, less than 2 lengths. Couple starts before that, or 1 start before that, 2 starts back. A very close-up second in the Tropical Turf down at Gulfstream. So Casa Creed seems like an interesting player in here. And then Therapist in the 3rd spot Nice win 2 back. That was in November, followed up in another turf sprint stake at Aqueduct, also in November. Ran 4th in there, but on a best effort, Therapist clearly belongs in the hunt with this group in the 8th at Belmont. The Elusive Quality, 6-3, 4-1. And we wrap things up at Belmont. Race number 9. I have it 13, 5, 11, and 3. The 13 is an AE horse. If that one doesn't make it in, pull a 10 into the mix. But me and Sap, first on the AE list, so one scratch gets this one in. Dave Donk, trainee, already has a turf start under his belt here at Aqueduct. This season goes back to April 9th, the early part of the turf season in New York. Decent little third, should have the horse set up nicely. Seems to, if you go down the PP, seems to appreciate this $40,000 level. So again, if this one gets into the mix, we'll put me and Sap on top. Second slot, Drink a Toast for Linda Rice. First time starter by Cantheros. I like the breeding. It just looks like a field that fairly weak, and so I always take a look, certainly, at first-time starters in groups like this, and so Drink a Toast could be a player with, again, a little bit of breeding, and Linda Rice can have them ready. Third spot, we'll go Flipping Fun, 10-1 on the morning line. I think this horse is a player in with this bunch. Has been running on the dirt, but has some turf starts that are okay, kind of match up with these. So again, at a price, I thought this horse could be a player in with this group. In the 9th and final at Belmont, 13, 5, 11, and 3. Again, if that 13 doesn't make it in, pull a 10 into the mix. All right, I'll head to a break. After the break, Brian Nadeau will jump in again because Brian's down at Churchill. Schedule, doing some Kentucky Derby notes work. The schedules didn't coincide, so we actually taped at different times. So I'm going to step back. I'll come back at the end of the show and wrap it up. But when we come back from the commercial, it will be Brian Nadeau taking a look at Churchill Downs opening day. Their post time a little bit later in the afternoon/evening. So Churchill Downs up next.
Capital OTB is now streaming live on Roku. The RTN Racing channel on Roku lets you watch OTB TV live through your Roku device or your Amazon Fire Stick, rather than being limited to computers and mobile devices, which means you can now watch OTB live wherever you are. Simply open Roku, scroll to find the RTN channel, then click on OTB TV. OTB TV on Roku. Try it now.
The Clubhouse Racebook is the Capital Region's new home for racing and sports. 25,000 square feet of Vegas-style action with live wagering on the best horse racing from around the world. 260 flat-screen televisions and state-of-the-art wagering terminals. So don't miss out. The fun is only minutes away at 711 Central Avenue, Albany, just off Exit 5 of I-90. And don't forget, if you can't make it to the Clubhouse, you can always wager online 24/7 at capitalotv.com.
Where's the best place to find your favorite teams, your favorite food, daily drink specials, and wagering on live horse racing? Legends Field Sports Bar, 711 Central Avenue, Albany. Get your game on day or night with 75 flat-screen TVs, tournament-style pool tables, a private banquet room, and live horse racing. So if someone asks you, where's the best sports bar in the Capital Region? Tell them Legends Field Sports Bar, inside the Clubhouse Racebook, 711 Central Avenue, Albany.
Opening day at Churchill Downs. It's a night card as well, so take that into account. 6 p.m. and also take the weather into account as well. It doesn't look good for Saturday. A lot of rain, basically 100% chance of rain. So it's very, very likely, with obviously all the Derby week stakes coming up, I would think we're going to be off the turf in Louisville. Very cold during the week. And it's supposed to warm up a little bit, but the weather doesn't look great. So very likely off the turf. I will give picks for both, but keep that in mind. We'll have one sheet selections here. Obviously, I'll update them after the scratches. So that 6 p.m. opener kicks off the early pick 5. It's a $40,000 claimer for 3-year-olds. A lot of speed in here. I go 1-4 over the 5. I'm hoping Mahomes' money can settle just a little bit early, let the speed to the outside take over, work out a stalking trip from just off the pace. Last 2 runs, very, very solid. 7 furlongs should work here as well. Mahomes money on top in what is a class drop for this one. Number 4, Big Union for Brad Cox, Laurent Giroux, so you know be bet very, very hard. Cuts back from 2 turns to 1, second off the layoff. It all works well, but I wonder with an aggressive rider and Florent name, maybe Samurai Prince, who I have in third, presses his one a little bit early, kind of zaps him a little bit late. I like Mahomes money in the opener, 1-4 over the 5. Race 2, it's a $10,000 maiden claimer, fillies and mares, 3 and up. 6 on the main track, early pick 4 time here in the second as well. 2-3-1, Vicky Foley, the wife of Greg Foley, that had a lot of success at fairgrounds this winter. And I know Vicky hasn't started a lot of horses. This is one of just 2 this year. But this is a very, very strong barn. Like I mentioned, Greg Foley had a big, big fairgrounds. The Foleys have done well all around. Plenty of speed in here to set up Half Legend. I thought the debut was very, very solid under the radar. I look for this one to move forward in a big way. Half Legend at a price in the second. Number 3, Jailhouse Code is clearly the horse to beat for Mike Maker, but boy, he claimed her for 50 from Paul McGee 2-back. She was at 4th last time for 50, and here she is for 10. Very likely winner, absolutely. Very short price, absolutely. Very mixed signals, very absolutely. And the fact she's in for 10, 2 removed from being claimed for 50 is not a good sign. I'm not taking the bait. If she beats me, that's fine. You've got to play against these types at the racetrack. The maiden special weight dropper, Vita Yellow, down inside. 3 starts, very nondescript at Gulfstream, very ho-hum. This is probably where she should be. I don't know if she's got any talent at all. Say what you want about Half Legend. At least we know this is the type of spot she should be in, whereas Jailhouse Code and Vita Yellow, not necessarily the case. 2-3-1, race 2 on the opener at Churchill. Race 3, it's a $32,000 claimer here. 4 and up, it's a short compact field of 5. Straight 5-1 to the hoop for me. Relentless Dancer, outside attack post. Luis Saez, I would think, will put a little more speed into this one early. Stiff drop in class for Maker. Just looks better than what seems to be a pretty average bunch. Number 1, Lonely Private, probably wins this if he can back up his last win at Oakland Park. The problem is I don't really know where it came from. He looks like he's going to regress today. He probably gets pressured a little bit as the inside speed too, maybe with Last Chance at Glory to his outside. He's probably the one to catch. I just worry in that 7th furlong with A, regression, B, maybe outside pace pressure if it catches up to him. Again, straight 5-1 to the hoop in race 3. Race 4, $8,000 claimer, fillies and mares, 4 and up, 6 on the main track. We sneak in a middle pick 4 here, like they do at fairgrounds. A middle pick 4 here, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. It's just 5 over the 4-1, and I think it's going to be very, very difficult with number 5, Sacred Storm in here. Outside press off the 2 good races, really several very good races, showed that she can handle the main track. Sacred Storm from an up-close attack post, way too good for these. What I tried to do is take a price underneath with Isabella's Joy, who maybe, if she can bounce back on the class shock, she didn't fire at all last time. If she gets back to her prior form, I look at the race 3 back in the mud at Sam Houston. That plays here, puts her underneath, maybe at a price. And then number 1, Miss Pinkerton is probably the most likely exacta partner, but she's inside speed, will be pressed the entire way by Sacred Storm. I'll try to get out of a short exacta, 5 over the 4-1. One more before we take a break here. It is the 5th. It's a maiden claimer. 20's the price. 3 and up. We go a mile and a 16th on the main track. Tough race. Looking for maybe a speed pop here for number 2, Grand Design. 2-6 over the 1-7 for me. Florent Giroux gets a board for Tom Amos. A maiden special weight dropper. An aggressive rider on a horse with tactical speed stretching back out. Grand Design on the engine, might forget to stop. In a race where, yeah, there is some pace, but with Florent has a great, great knack for taking the initiative early. And what it does, it kind of scares off a lot of other riders from going with him. And I think he can clear here with Grand Design. Number 6, Parrot Head will be close throughout, but the better runs of late have been on the have been on the synthetic at Turfway Park. I'm wondering what we get on a dirt track here. Number 1, Launchpad really woke up in the slop last time in what was his dirt debut. He's very, very likely going to catch an off track. I just, I don't know, 35-1 last time, probably about 3-1 today. Tread lightly tonight, I should say. Number 7, Musk, MSW dropper, if nothing else. The problem is he has not run an inch in 3 maiden special weight starts. He hasn't taken a cent of money either. Tread a little lightly here. 2-6 over the 1-7 will bring us to a break here on the Handicappers Report. When we come back, I'll get into the late pick 5 opening night at Churchill Downs. Stay tuned.
Welcome to Albany County, an incredible destination to live, work, and play, with easy connections to more than a dozen cities from our vibrant modern airport. It's a short trip downtown to a hive of culture and amusement, from world-class shows at the newly renovated Times Union Center to reliving the past at the New York State Museum. From outdoor recreation to shopping to nightlife, Albany County has something for everyone. We'll see you soon.
Want to take advantage of everything Capital OTB has to offer? Become a Capital Bets account holder today. It's quick and easy, and now for the month of April, it's our new member sign-up bonus. Simply make a minimum deposit of $200, bet $400, and receive a $200 cash bonus deposited directly into your new account. That's $200 free money from Capital OTB, so sign up today and win more with Capital OTB.
It's the most exciting 2 minutes in sports, the Kentucky Derby. And here's a special offer for all new Capital Bets account holders. Leading up to the Kentucky Derby, open a new Capital Bets account at CapitalOTB.com and get $200 cash back. So whether you're a seasoned horse player or only wager once a year, don't miss out on this incredible offer. To learn how to claim your free money, go to CapitalOTB.com.
Welcome back on the Handicappers Report. Brian Nadeau with you here in Louisville as we handicap the opening night card. Saturday night, it's a night card, a really cool late pick 5 coming up as well. Kentucky Derby week on the horizon. We'll have plenty of that action on Capital OTB. The 6, as I mentioned, late pick 5 time. It's a 50K 2L for 3-year-olds. We go 6.5 on the main track. 5-6 over the 3-1. I talked about the Foleys earlier in the card, and Sir Giannis looked good from off the pace, breaking his maiden at Fairgrounds. Catches a race with plenty of speed here. I think he can settle early. The long stretch at Churchill, much like at Fairgrounds, he can mow them down late. Yeah, he takes on winners. It's a step up in class. He fits nicely in here. Number 6, Rye Humor, the same kind of bill here, a little bit from off the pace as well. Ran well when 4th, facing winners at Keeneland, a similar kind of group today, and I think he can build off that. Another one that can settle early, punch home late. The speed of Extreme Force, the speed of Convection. What happens? To me, I think they cancel each other out on or just off the pace. I'm going to play it like that. That extra half furlong today, especially for Convection, who looked good winning on debut for Eddie K. I think it zaps them both a little bit. I'm against them. I like Extreme Force over Convection, basically because of the post parade. But I like Sir Giannis here to kick off a very good late pick 5, 5-6 over the 3-1. Late pick 4 time in the 7. It's the first turf race of the night. I don't think we're going to see it on the green stuff. If we do, 9-4 over the 3-1. Just real quickly. Bullseye Bun at a price, likely race second off the layoff. But I'm going to talk about the main track here because I think that's what we're going to see. And if we do, Majestic West, to me, the 12 gets a lot of the best of it here. It'll go 12-6-5 to kick off this late pick 4 in race 7. Again, pay attention to Twitter. Pay attention to the scratches. I will update my picks. Check out yours as well. Very, very good chance we come off the grass here. Majestic West on top. Number 6, Gershwin, a half-brother to Mystic Guide, the Dubai World Cup winner. Didn't really fire over a good and sealed main track, going two turns at Oakland. Now we're back to one turn here if it should be on the main track. A lot of upside for Mike Stidham. And then Manitowish for Dale Romans. A solid 5th last time on the dirt at Keeneland. 12.65 on the dirt, 9.431 if we are on the turf. Again, pay attention to the scratches. Big, big money in race 8. It's a 1.25 mile maiden special weight. Fillies and mares 3 and up, playing for $115,000 at a tricky 1.25 miles. It's just 5'8". Queen Bourbon looks like she's in the right spot for Ian Wilkes. By Empire Maker out of a more than ready mare. Plenty of pedigree to get this trip, at least on the top. Of course, Empire Maker, second to our funny side in the Derby back in 2003. Is it that long ago? Yikes. So I think Queen Bourbon, 3rd start of her career, 3rd start of her form cycle. A lot to like with her moving forward for Ian Wilkes. Not a lot in here either, let's just be honest. Number 8, Doro Forever. You want to go back in time a little bit? Medaglia Doro out of Lemons Forever, and she won the Kentucky Oaks at Dallas Stewart back in the day. I think 47-1. Second Lasix here. She improved, at least figure-wise, at Fairgrounds. She seems to be going forward. Certainly a pedigree that says this is a trip she'll like. She's second best, a Chuck Fipke homebred. Daly had a big, big Fairgrounds meet, trying to do it again at Churchill Downs. Let's put her underneath Queen Bourbon at a short price in the 8. The feature, the William Walker, 3-year-olds. We go 5.5 on the turf. We hope. I don't know. Maybe they'll try to keep it on because it is the stakes, the opening night stakes. 4-8-2-1-3 on the turf. Quickly, Chasm for Mike Maker. If it's on the turf, it's obviously going to have a lot of give to it. There's a lot of speed in here. Maybe it comes back. I'll put Chasm on top. But I want to talk about the main track here. 2-8-1 for me. Next, hasn't been Alistraw. Line through the Breeders' Cup Juvenile. Didn't fire behind 2-year-old champion, Kentucky Derby favorite, undefeated, essential quality. But look at the run at Keeneland, right? The romp 2 back. It was in, kind of against friends here. He's going to have plenty of foundation for Wesley Ward, who's been gangbusters at Keeneland. Next, for Silverton Hill Farm, does have a sprint win, albeit on the synthetic, or albeit on the turf at Kentucky Downs. But he's by not this time out of an Awesome Again mare, so there's plenty of main track pedigree here. He freaked over a good off the turfer at Keeneland. Plenty of foundation here to spy the speed, kick on for a barn that's been firing, especially off long layoffs. Cowan for Steve Asmussen. Turf, dirt, plenty of form here. Has been doing the main track thing earlier this year and then tried the turf in Dubai. I look at the race 2 back on that was Saudi Cup night. And then you look at the race 3 back at Oakland in the Sparny Jones to Caddo River. So this is a horse that can handle the main track. It's also a horse that will come from off the pace a little bit. That's the spot I want to be in here. Roderick down inside pressing, maybe the speed for Wesley Ward. Problem is he didn't fire in the slop last time off the layoff. What do you get tonight? If it is on the main track, I'll play him underneath. 2-8-1. Let's round it up here in the main in the finale of the Churchill Downs Spring Summer Meet, Kentucky Derby meet kicking off late 10:42 in the PM back home. It's an optional claimer for fillies and mares, 3 and up. We sprint 6 on the main track. Tough race to end the card. 6, 7, 8, 2, 5. I'm going to use all my spots in the 1 sheet. Lady Anna, 2 races in a row off the turf. She really looked good at Fairgrounds last time for Cherie DeVoe. She seems to have plenty of upside. Her last 2 races have been very, very sharp. She can sit off the speed, punch on. I like Lady Anna here. Aunt Nadine, another one for Mike Maker that can settle a little bit early. There seems to be plenty of speed in here. Aunt Nadine was a good 3rd off the layoff last time. If she moves forward, she'll be tough. Number 8, Byroness. I don't want to call the other Cherie DeVoe because there's plenty of class here. She hasn't run since the Kentucky Oaks. You look at her last 2 races, route distance races. I would think Cherie is using this spot for a stakes race going along. Next out, let's tab Byroness tonight. to see what we get next time. Lady Rocket, I don't know. Tread lightly if you're taking a short price for Brad, because she didn't really do a lot of running last time. Went third. She's going to be an underlay here. She's got a tricky post as well. I'm going to play against her. She can't sing, can settle early. Look at the dirt race 2-back. She did give up a 2-length late lead, but a better time ride gives her a major, major chance here. Tough one in the finale. 6, 7, 8, 2, 5 on a fun day. We've got Belmont. They're opening Saturday. First Saturday of the meet. We've got the Churchill opener here. Obviously, we're drawing in just a week out from the Kentucky Derby, and we'll have a lot of that going on at Capital OTB. Myself, Seth Merrow, Mike Callahan will have the seminar to look forward to. They draw that Derby card early in the week, Tuesday. We're going to have a full field in the Derby. It's still kind of shaking out a little bit who's going to be in there. We'll have a full field in the Kentucky Oaks Friday as well. An Oaks in April, the last Friday in April, and the Derby on May 1st, Saturday. So a lot to look forward to. We'll have you covered here at Capital OTB. I'll be a part of it. Looking forward to that seminar. We always have a good time. A lot of fun with that. Taking a look at the Kentucky Derby card. So best of luck at Belmont. Best of luck opening night at Churchill Downs as well. I'll see you during the week for that Derby seminar.
Thanks to Brian Nadeau for taking a look at Churchill. I took a look at Belmont a little bit earlier, again, because our schedules, Brian is down at Churchill on the notes team leading up to the Derby, so our schedules just didn't jive. We taped at different times. But I wanted to come back on and wrap things up because we're ending up just a little bit short this week. But that works out well because the Kentucky HBPA has done some really nice work on the backstretch and will continue to do so over the next week, kind of talking to the connections of contenders for the Derby and the Oaks. And speaking of that, the main player for the Kentucky HBPA doing that work is Jenny Reese. She will join us at the top of the hour for Racing Across America. We will also be joined by Mark Cassie. He has a couple of interesting contenders in the Derby with Soup and Sandwich and Helium, so keep that in mind at the top of the hour. But in the meantime, we're going to wrap things up for the Handicappers Report, but in the interim, we will play one of the backstretch interviews. This was done yesterday with Brad Cox, talking about his Derby contenders, Elusive Quality and Caddo River, but he also has a couple of runners coming up in the Oaks. He mentions those as well, Travel Column and Coach. So up next, as we wrap up the Handicappers Report, taking us to the top of the hour, it'll be trainer Brad Cox.
From him,
I guess just for starters, talk about Caddo River's work.
I breeze well as 5/8 from the half-mile pole. I had him in 101. I think the clocker had him a touch faster. I worked on the inside of a 3 coat one. Both breeze well. Caddo may have been a touch better, but happy with the way he breezed and pulled out, and he looked really good.
So all systems go at this point.
Yeah, we'll check him tomorrow morning if all looks well. We just plan on entering him next week.
Tactically, what difference does it make having him in the race with that extra, another speed horse?
Well, it probably benefits our other 2 horses a bit. But, that's kind of the way he likes to perform, up close, so we can't take that away from him. We're hopeful that he could, somehow get to the front and slow things down, which is going to benefit him. I don't know if that benefits the other horses. So it's kind of hard to, I don't have that crystal ball to know exactly how to play out. But, we'll be aggressive with him away from the gate for sure.
On Mandaloon, he has kind of a unique bit on his bridle, right? Can you tell us more about
that's a gag bit. We call it a gag bit. It's just he's a strong horse to gallop. It just kind of gives the rider a little more control, gets him to slows him down a little bit. That's the reason for using that. We use it on several what we call tough horses that want to kind of overtrain at times is the reason for it.
Has he been in it before his race in New Orleans?
Oh yeah, he's been in it pretty much all winter. So it's something that he's used probably since January.
Okay.
You let you go tomorrow morning, and do you know what time yet?
Yeah, right now we're planning on Mandaloon and Essential Quality not working together, but similar time, probably around 5:15 first thing since the track opens is what we're shooting for.
Where are you hoping essential qualities what would be the best one?
Somewhere in the middle. Hopefully next to a couple horses that know how to break straight. That's probably the biggest thing. I mean, that's really what you're looking for. Just hopefully everybody can kind of break and stay straight, for the first 3 or 4 jumps, and gives everybody a fair shot.
Well, what's the biggest thing you're looking for out of a work day like this? Like a couple things that jump out to you?
Yeah, it depends. You're really just looking for more of the same as far as these horses go. I mean, most of them are all in good form. Mandaloon himself, I mean, he actually threw a clunker last time, so you're just making sure he's continuing to work well, even though he didn't run well. He worked well leading up to his last race. I mean, he's definitely the question mark in the field as to if he's going to show up. If he does, he's a contender. If he runs a Louisiana Downs or Louisiana Derby race, he's not. So, you're just kind of, making sure they're taking over. At this point, I don't think there's a whole lot you're going to do to increase their performance. It's just kind of more of maintenance work at this point.
Has Mandaloon shown you anything different? I mean, have you changed anything with him?
Not really. I mean, he was training so well leading up to the Louisiana Derby. We thought, he was the favorite. Thought he would, perform well, and he just didn't. He was just a little flat in the race. Bounced out of in great order. That's why we're here. He's still on the Derby trail, and he's obviously earned enough points in the Compt and the Risen Star to march forward. So, he deserves the right to run as long as he's doing well, and he's doing fantastic. So, here we are. Hopefully we can get through this sport breeze tomorrow. He comes out of a good order, and, on to next Saturday.
Is Mr. Anthony excited about having a Derby horse? Is that not done? Does he do excitement?
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure there's some level of excitement. I think his family's very involved. The family's definitely happy and excited about having a Derby prospect. They've been down this road before, been very close, had a second. They won the Preakness a couple times, so they're definitely no stranger to having good horses on the Triple Crown Trail.
Are you nervous for your first Derby?
No, not right now, no. Honestly, I mean, I'm not. I'm just, focused on all 3 of these horses. We have 2 fillies in the Oaks as well, and, some other great horses running on the undercard. So, I don't want to say it's, just another weekend, but, right now it's just as if we were preparing for, any big weekend, Breeders' Cup, whatever it may be. You have to stay focused and, focused on each individual. So it's a lot of work, and I think when you're busy, you don't really have time to be very nervous.
Have you ever done the walkover before with another horse?
I did, yeah, with Dollar Bill, with Dallas Stewart, early 2000s. I think it's 2000. It was the year Monarchos won it.
So you know what to expect of it.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if it's going to be quite as busy this year as it was last year, given the fact of COVID restrictions, but it'll still be exciting.
Did all of your fillies work, your Oaks fillies work today, or?
Yes, both fillies worked. Travel column breezed outside of a filly in Australasia that's 4 for 4. Went really good. I'd give a mild, I think that Travel column was a touch better. She's a really, really good workhorse. We saw more of that this morning. So she's doing fantastic. I think she's ready for next Friday. Coach breezed in company. She's not as flashy of a workhorse. She breezed with Adventuring. Adventuring's qualified for the Oaks, but we've opted to wait for the Black-Eyed Susan, and that's going to be her next race. And Coach was a good move. She's not the greatest workhorse in the world, but she put in a good move this morning.
Yeah, Roman said the toughest part of being a trainer is dealing with all the ticket requests. So that yet or not?
And I'm not going to. I'm a horse trainer, not ticket broker. So.
He's gray and his movement. What do you would tell somebody on the telephone if you wanted to describe him?
He's a colt. I mean, he's smart. He's a very, very intelligent horse. You just see it. When you're around these horses enough, you kind of figure out the ones that are, there's something about him, something special about him. He's very special. Mentally and obviously, physically he showed up in 5. He's 5 for 5. So, he's a very good colt. We think a lot of him. We've always thought a lot of him. Since the first time we breezed him, we thought, wow, this is a good colt. And he's never let us down. He's just, he's what good. He's kind of like, reminds me of like a Monomoy girl. As far as a male version, he brings it every week. When you breeze him, I mean, he shows up and he works well every week. There's never been a work that you're like, wow, it's not as good as the last one. It's very steady and honest and very talented, obviously, but he's a very intelligent horse.
Yeah, and in stride, maybe?
Yeah, he's got a good way of going. I mean, he's really light on his feet, and you know, I'm hoping we have a fast track. But if we don't, he won't mind a wet track either. I think anyone saw him gallop here 2 mornings ago. Saw that he floated over a sloppy track, and then obviously in the southwest at Oaklawn, he cruised around there, and you know, I get some really good horses, and was set 2-3 wide that day. You know, just kicked on down the lane. So I mean, he's a horse that went on a wet track, a fast track. He's different styles. I mean, people are like, what about the pace? I mean, he adjusts to the pace. So I mean, I don't really think there's a spot where you can put him going into the first turn where he's not going to be comfortable. And obviously, Louis rode him in his last 4 starts and knows him well and has confidence in him. So, you know, he's going to be able to maneuver him put him where he needs to be and have confidence and save some horse for down the lane. Yeah, you know, it's a little bit. It was an odd year last year, right? So, you know, we were just this 3-year-old group. These fillies, we've always thought Travel Column was one of our better 3-year-old fillies, and Coach started out 3 for 3. So, you know, they were fillies that we were definitely trying to get to the Kentucky Oaks, and it's worked out. They've accomplished enough this winter to accumulate the points, and here we are.
With who he's riding, I mean, he's won this race basically. What happened. Are you concerned at all that goes into his mind if he's on the track, or is it just such a riding a horse race?
Yeah, no, I don't think so. I mean, this guy's won. You know, he just won the Dubai World Cup. He won the Saudi Cup. I mean, he's a world-class rider. Bottom line, and he's, you know, I could not believe that Essential Quality was his first Breeders' Cup win. I found that out like a couple hours after the race. But you know, he has a lot of confidence in his horse. We've had a lot of confidence in him for years. This isn't like we just hooked up last fall with him riding Essential Quality. We've been riding him for 4 or 5 years, maybe a little bit longer than that. And, you know, you get your money's worth. He's always gives a big effort, good effort, and you know, he's a classy guy. He's a you know, soft-spoken guy that's honestly, if you met him and you knew him, you'd be the last thing in the world you'd think is a guy that would get rattled. He's very you know, low-key and even killed.
I'm Seth Merrow, and as serious horse players, we know that information is critical when placing a bet. With live streaming of more than 30 tracks, race replays, free past performances, and daily picks from professional handicappers, no one gives you more up-to-the-minute information than Capital OTB. Combine that with the best player awards in New York State, and you have everything a serious horse player needs to be successful.
Win more with Capital OTB.
Winning starts here.
The Capital Region has some of the most sophisticated horse racing fans in the country. That's why Capital OTB built the Clubhouse Racebook. Here you can wager year-round on the best horse racing from around the world. The Clubhouse also has monthly promotions including live bankrolls, handicapping contests, and so much more. Like sports? Watch your favorite teams on more than 30 screens in Legends Field Sports Grill. Food, sports, and the excitement of championship horse racing. Only at the Clubhouse Racebook, 711 Central Avenue, Albany.
Come on!
I want sales reports on my desk by Monday.
Whoops. My bad.
Love racing? RTN brings you every live simulcast on your home television, plus live video streaming and race replays on your PC and mobile devices. To order, visit rtn.tv. RTN, a breed apart.
You're watching OTB TV, a service of Capital Off-Track Betting.